Welcome to this tutorial on programming an irrigation controller. This video was produced by the UF-IFAS extension of Polk County. A few notes before we begin. This example is on a Hunter unit, but each brand and model will be slightly different. Use what you have learned from this tutorial to figure out how yours works. Smart controllers will work differently and be covered in a different video. If you get stuck, many manufacturers offer manuals or videos online. Now, let's get started. The rain sensor has two states, bypass and active. To avoid overwatering, the sensor should be set to active. To begin, set the current date and time. In this model, the year is set first. Press the plus and minus keys to change the year. Press the right arrow to move on to the month. Press the plus and minus signs to change the month, then the right arrow to move on to the day. Adjust it the same way. The right arrow will bring you to the time. In this model, you will need to select AM, PM, or 24-hour first with the plus and minus buttons. Press the right arrow to get to the numerical time. Make adjustments with the plus and minus buttons. Once the date and time have been set, you can program the start times. It is important to note you will only need to program one start time for all the stations. Use the plus and minus buttons to adjust the start time. Press the program button if you need to set more than one program. You might want to do this so some stations won't be watered as often as others, or to vary watering times by season. Take care when setting multiple programs. Typically, you will only want to run one program at any time. Press the right arrow to cycle through the stations to see if a time is set. If you find one that has a time and you don't want it running this season, you will have to turn it off. In this model, you will find off by cycling through the times with the plus and minus arrows between 11:45 p.m. and 12 o'clock a.m. Be sure you have checked all your programs by selecting the Program button to move on to the next one. You will be sure you are done when selecting Program brings you back to Program A. Next, set the station run times. You can determine how long each station should run by calibrating your sprinklers, which is covered in a different video. Use the plus and minus button to adjust the time. Use the right arrow to move on to the next station. Hit the Program button to toggle between programs to change the station times. Next, set which days to water. Here is a close-up of the screen for the scheduled days. The water drop means that day has been scheduled. Use the plus button to add a day, the minus button to subtract a day, and the right and left arrows to move from one day to another. Next, switch to seasonal adjustment. This will allow you to water less as a percentage. Because there are no hard and fast rules on the percentages, we recommend leaving it at 100% and merely decreasing the frequency of runs in the summer with rain and in the winter when plants are not actively growing. At these times of year, it may be best to manually run the sprinklers as needed and leave the programming for the rest of the year. If you need to manually run just one station, switch the controller over to the manual mode. You can then set a length of time for whichever station you need. If it's the rainy season, you may decide you don't need your system on at all. In that case, switch the unit to System Off. Once you have programmed your unit, switch it over to Run so that it will turn on at the specified days and times. Your controller should have a place for you to manually start the program. For this one, it is to hold down the right arrow until the program comes up. Thank you for watching this tutorial on programming an irrigation controller.